I'm not. I can't afford to not record.
Welcome to season 6 of the Be Your Own Kind podcast, where we believe that you deserve the space to just be. I'm so excited to share another season with you, packed with fresh perspectives, practical tools, and inspiration to enhance your already amazing self. I hope you enjoy the new content just as much as I've loved bringing it to you. Stay inspired and always remember to be your own kind. Well, hello, Keila. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing well, and you?
I'm pretty good. It's Thursday, Friday Eve,
Yes.
Man, is it me or did September just like?
I'm telling you, I feel like it's been this way the whole summer. Then September just came in and finishing us right off.
Right, look, I'm only here for a very, very small time.
Right.
All right, well, thank you for being a guest on the podcast today. Can you just tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
I am Keila Strong. I'm a visual artist from Chicago. I paint, and right now I'm exploring mixed media and kind of textile art. But most of my work is centered around women empowerment and Black culture. So I look at my work, I like to think of it as an ode to the culture, a celebration of Black culture, if you will. So, yeah.
I love that. I came across you and your work at the Black Girl Art Show.
Okay.
Yeah, I it was barrettes. It was a it was like a little girl's hairstyle made out of barrettes, and I thought that was the dopest thing I'd ever seen. And then I went on your site. It was the bubblegum. That kind of resonated with like childhood,
Yeah.
In the dish, how many did people, cheating because they know it's gonna leak? But right. I don't know, like it just kind of connected to my childhood a little bit.
Yes. It's sort of like when my mom and my grandma used to tell us stories about their childhood. And what I realized is, like, if we don't document and save these stories, because kids don't play those games like, how we did growing up. They not as outside as much. So I'm like, if we don't document and tell these stories, they could be lost. So that's why I get my whole, like I said, I'm right in the middle of like exploring childhood joy, youth, innocence, identity. But I'm definitely intentional about documenting the story. So
I love that. I love that you use the word innocence, because that's not a thing lately. It's more sexy, provocative, seductive type culture lately, and just innocence. I don't know, like it is different from when we were children until now. So I love that you use the word innocence, because that's not really a thing anymore that I see, So I love that you document that part of youth, because that's what youth is supposed to be. It's supposed to be innocent. It's not supposed to be overwhelming. But I feel like, I'm not even going to tangent about social media, but sometimes I feel like social media robs the youth of their youth, because it's so much information, too much at one time.
Yes, and I feel like we were most like ourselves when we're innocent. Like it's of course, you live and stuff happen, but it's a bunch of different things can come and kind of pervert your views, the way you view people, your relationships, friendships. I'm talking about even as children. So I think it's important for children to have that time and space to just be kids, because they'll be adults one day and then there's no going back. So I always tell my son, you're gonna be an adult the rest of your life. But the first at least, and my youngest is 10. So it's like, yeah, don't worry about it. He want to be a teenager so bad. So it's like, yeah, you're going to be an adult the rest of your life. So don't even trip.
Right, you better enjoy it.
Enjoy it while it's free, while it's fun, while somebody else paying for it. Yes.
I love that. And I think we covered this a little bit, but one of the questions was, can you share your personal journey and what motivates you to create art?
So I was growing up, I was like the shy kid, very quiet. My sisters, both of them, is loud, big personality, life of the party. type of sister, type of family. My whole family is freaking loud. So I was the kid that was quiet and like just was kind of a little quirky, coloring under the table when everybody else outside, all under the covers with a sketchbook. I'm a self-taught artist, so but then my family kind of like geeked me up from a young age and made me feel like I can do something. Like, oh, you an artist? I didn't even know that was a thing. So I'm like, oh, I guess this is pretty cool. I thought everybody liked colors and stuff like that. It was a while before I found out, like, no, some people hate this. But nonetheless, I continued it, grammar school, elementary, all the way through high school. But it wasn't until about like 2019 that I started taking it seriously. My background, I went to school for graphic design at that time. But that was because everybody was telling me there's no money in art, there's no career in art. You can't make a living as an artist drawing and painting. How you gonna make money, you know? So I was like, I guess I better do something that can give me some money first. And then I went to school for graphic design, and I kind of was miserable on the job. So it was like, I just decided I'ma just go all in with my art career and see where it take me. So yeah, right now I'm still on the journey, just exploring different mediums and this and that. But what I learned is that it was a way for me to not only express myself as a quiet girl, but tell stories, and it was a way for me to communicate messages with other people. Um, and because I was shy, like I'd much rather be the person behind the scenes. I like that my art could stand in front of me. You know, it fits my personality. Nobody ever has to know or even like me. You know what I'm Nobody ever has to like me or know me or, you know what I'm saying, accept me. But my work can still reach them. You know what I'm saying? So that was something cool. I was like, this is the best. This is the way in which I speak the loudest and the clearest. It's through my art. And I believe it's the way in which I've been able to reach people. I do see it as a bit of a ministry. Um, I like to say that art allows me to reach the hearts of people in a way that my words cannot, especially when I was younger and I didn't talk. So my words wasn't going far. But yeah, so my art always did that, and just, being able to see how far I can go with it. That's all. But it's been great.
I love that. So that was kind of like your coming out, like a way of expressing yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was like just being able to play with different colors, and then, I get a reaction out of people, or they respond to this, as a 7, 8, 9-year-old, it's mostly like family, like, oh wow, she drew this line, she drew the skyline, and it excited them. So I was like, oh, something is being communicated. Let me keep going. Like, okay. So then now, people see my art and they cry sometimes, or they laugh sometimes, or, and it's like, so it really do allow you to speak to people in ways I couldn't have known how this person would perceive that, or what that person needed. But the moment between myself and the art, and that interaction between the viewer and the art is special. So yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, just to go back to the bubble, I don't know, the bubble gum in a dish really resonated with me because I feel me and my friend were just talking about this, how when we think back on our past, for some reason, even though most times we've had more good than bad, our mind always tends to like attract the drama or magnate to that. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I saw that, it just brought all childhood memories, like all the, what is it, slide, shame,
Right,
like
right.
all the things I used to do as a kid, and it made me smile. Like I literally was staring at it. I'm gonna actually buy it, but I was really staring at it, and I was just like, I really love that. I really love
Mm-hmm.
that. So you're right. It does, like, your eyes. I don't know all of this. I don't know anatomy that good, but I know that when you see something, it's some type of reaction, some type of nostalgia, and it gets your brain to going, and it just
Mm-hmm.
brings like just talking about it is bringing like a cool feeling. So
Yeah, yeah.
I
It takes me
love.
back.
Yeah, and so I love artists, period, all types of artistry, because it just, things that you can't articulate or can't even explain how you're feeling. Somehow, sometimes just art, music, whatever, just brings it out of you.
It takes you back to the moment, to the sounds, the smells, the lights, the streets. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really good art, and especially when it have that nostalgia, it's like you there all over again. And I think that's why bubblegum was so successful, because you remember a kid always got their shoe untied, or we got the jelly slides, or so it's like the whole thing. It's like you can hear the laughter, you can hear the feet stumping and running on the ground. So it's just like, yeah, it's just, yeah, I get it.
It is. And your canvas is still on sale on your site, right? For that one?
It might be sold out. It probably be a restock.
No.
But
Okay.
it's prints, but I believe the canvas is sold out. But yeah, it's one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, I love that one. I love that. So just to segue into the next question, what I love that you said is your family pumps you up, because your support system is everything, right? What if you drew that line and it was the opposite, like, girl, that line is crooked. That's not a straight line. Like, when you're a kid, like, people pumping you up, I think most people start their confidence there with that. It's like, oh, well, maybe I'll draw another line. Maybe I'll draw a circle.
Right. That's exactly what happened. Like, I thought that it was normal. I thought everybody was like into it. I thought it was like a regular thing. So they, my mom hyping it up and hanging it on the wall and calling the family. And it's like, okay, I must got something cool. Like, and I'm honestly, this was like literally stick men and stick, like, it wasn't like I was some type of, extraordinary artist at that age, but she saw the potential in me, and then she nurtured me and fed me in that way, and got my supplies and my first apron. Like, I felt like I made it when I got my easel. I was like, I'm somebody, like, in my head. And then, so it's like, yeah, I always felt like I can do it, because that's the type of family I had. And then call my aunties, and they was all in on it. Let me see it. Oh my God. And it's like, okay, I guess I'm an artist. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. Because that is so important. It is so important. Even if you don't understand what the kid is doing, if they're enjoying it, pump them up.
Just pump them up.
Yeah, pump them up. And so besides your family, like, are there any artists or movements that inspires your work?
Oh my God, I have so many. So like I said, well, I kind of hinted at or mentioned, I am very much a student in the art. So my path has just been constantly just me exploring and experimenting with different materials and stuff. So it's kind of like each medium got an artist, or several artists that I'm inspired by. So like I say, if I'm painting, it's Frank Morrison, it's Ernie Barnes, it's Kevin Williams, it's as far as the artists. Now we got like movements like the Cubist movement that I'm inspired by, the geometric shapes, abstract expressionism. As far as what I'm working with now, mixed media, textile, mosaics. It's this UK artist. Her name is Jane Perkins. I'm telling you, like, she makes portraits out of found objects. So she like find just things on the ground, or wherever, pick them up, collect it, and just like make these really crazy portraits. Awesome. Um it's a Skittle artist, Harold. I'm sorry, I really don't want to butcher his name, but he makes these really amazing, his last name, but he makes these really amazing portraits out of Skittles. So Bisa Butler, who does the quilts. Like, it's so many artists that I'm just inspired by, and I'm learning about every day, depending on, what I'm saying, like what I'm studying, what I'm working on. But yes, a lot of artists and a lot of different movements. I'm constantly learning, growing as an artist, as a person. And in order to do that, I have to educate myself on artists that's already in the game, doing what they do at a high level. So yeah.
Love that. So I know you wanted to talk a little bit about hair and its influences, the black hair specifically. I did wanted to ask you, in what ways can styling hair or creating art around hair help people embrace their unique selves?
Um I'm gonna say that hairstyling allows us to challenge the beauty standards. Just having unconventional hairstyling. Even if we think of the natural hair journey when women doing away with perms, and how for a period of time, and even though it's not the first time, but we know as it has come back in style and it's trendy again, people see the same hair that they seen as nappy and kinky as beautiful, and it's just because they seeing more of it. You know what I'm saying? So, and they seeing more hairstyling, they seeing more bantu knots and Afrocentric styling. So suddenly it's beautiful, but I think it's because it's becoming more normal for Black women to wear their natural hair regularly, whether it's a twist out or afro. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's important and challenging. Like, what does it mean to be beautiful? Not just on the outside, but for Black women. Um, a lot of us. I know I did a big chop a couple of years ago, and that was reflective of my personal journey of how I view myself and what does beauty mean to me, and do I see myself in my natural state as beautiful. So yeah, that's one of the ways. Of course it could, hairstyling could boost our confidence. You walk out the house, like I always like to say, you have not met a depressed person with their hair done. It's impossible to be sad when you have your hair done. Like,
You are so right. It changed your
yes,
whole mood.
yeah. So it's like, yes, keep it. If you cute, you good. Like, depression cannot live in the house of a woman with her hair done. I just believe it.
Yeah, and you're right. And the transition from perm to natural, that's a deep transition. I didn't
Oh
think
yes.
it would be. It is.
Oh, it's really big. I mean, it's a lot of shit. Tears was shed during that phase too, and it's a lot of deconstruction and breaking down that to be had to take place. I know in me speaking from personal experience, but I know in a lot of other women, like, no, I'm not used to this version, and I don't even know if I like her. I don't know if I think this version of me is cute. Like, that's just, I'm just being honest. But it took me a while. Obviously, I came around and stuff, but initially, yeah, it was definitely a struggle.
Yeah, yeah. I was forced. My dermatologist was like, you're gonna keep getting these sores and da 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 da. And so I was trying to get rid of the perm slowly, like cut a little bit here,
Oh
cut a little bit.
yeah.
Then I went to a braider, and she was like, "Girl, let's just let it go." And she chopped it off, and I was like,
It's so hard. Yeah.
devastated.
I know it's devastating when you're not ready.
No,
I
I
was
wasn't
ready,
ready.
but it's devastating when you're not ready, I can imagine.
Yeah, but I've learned to play get the curl pattern again. And so I like my fro. I was very insecure at first with the fro
Hmm.
because I would get comments like, "When you gonna comb your hair up? That's why you don't
Right.
walk out like that." Because I've worn the wraps my entire life with the perm.
Me
I
too.
do
Yeah.
I do miss my wraps sometimes. But yeah, and people like the comments made me insecure. I'm like, look at me, I'm trying to be my best self. Now when people be like, "You ain't gonna comb," I'm like, my hair is combed
Right. Yes.
this is me today, but it was a journey to get there, So
Right. Right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So I do agree with you about hair. I don't know how it is for other women of other nationalities, but hair is really a part of a Black woman's identity. I found that.
Yes. I'm trying to. Hey, have you ever heard the quote, when a woman changed her hair, she's about to change her life? Um, there is a direct connection to when I did the big chop versus when something was happening on the inside of me and I was reaching like a new level of womanhood. It was directly reflected in how I would style my hair. When I had like, even when you think about the perms and all that was too a part of that journey, a part of the journey, and like where I was as a woman. Um, that's why in my series, my Black girl mosaics, I am sharing this evolution of the Black girl into womanhood. There are parts in there where you haven't fully embraced your natural self, your natural state or your natural hair, and then you have moments after where you ready to do the twist out or the big fro. And yeah, but it is directly connected to, for us, who we are. And I think, going back into when they shaved the our ancestors' heads, it was to strip them of their identity, because so much of their status, they identified people based on how they styled their hair. They can say how much wealth this person had, um their social stat, all of this was determined by how they wore and styled their hair, whether they was higher up, in the social economic status. So yeah, when you strip us of our hair, you strip us of our identity. Man and woman was stripped of that. So for us, we hold tight, like I think we just hold it a little bit closer. We had to rebuild, and redefine and rediscover who we are as a people. So yeah, now it is a part of our story, and it is a part of us. It always will be.
Yeah, and it kind of always has, like you said, in a sense. It was just, you have people like India Reed was like, I am not my hair, but yes, I am. Like, in
Yeah.
a way, I get what she's saying. Like, you're more than your hair, but in a sense, like, that's a part of me. And like you said,
It's a
like,
part.
depending on what it looked like and how it is that day, depending on if I'm gonna go out this house, you know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
depending on how I'm feeling. Sometimes, just like you said, just going to get your hair done, even your nails, whatever, just
Right.
looking and feeling good would just brighten the mood.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
literally like, if you see somebody walking down the street and her hair, girl, young lady, woman, hair sticking straight up, you can tell based off, that's what this person is dealing with something. Their hair is a direct reflection of that, because you wouldn't wear your hair like this, you know, maybe to an interview, or you know what I'm saying? It's just, and not just hair, but like your overall how you style yourself. And I'm not here to say like whether it's right or wrong, but I'm saying it's directly connected to what we dealing with and what we going, like if you feeling blah, you may look blah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Your
Right.
pants and a t-shirt today, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just a part of it. And I did, I know what India Ari was getting at, but I'm like, maybe she was talking about um more so beauty, like
Yeah.
so, long straight hair. I think, but I don't know. I could be, but I it's too much a part of who we are, for
And
sure.
it was back in the '90s, and she had the low cut or whatever. So this was probably just her personal experience of, like I said, people comments. So
Mm,
she was just probably like, I don't know, trying to help the young girl feeling insecure about the texture
yeah,
of the hair.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we could talk about hair forever.
Right.
Yeah, but just before we move on, I do want to make this point. Um, Hair, clothes. I know people. There are people out there that minimize things like that, but I work from home majority of the time, and on days where I actually get up and put on street clothes, and I am more productive than if I was to sit in my pajamas. I learned that in COVID, like, because that was pajama land, and I'm like, let me put on some clothes, see if I can still fit them, because I've been wearing pajamas for a
Yeah.
year, you know. And when I put that on, I feel like I'm more productive. I feel like I'm more at work. Even my
Yes.
posture changed. So it is a level of importance.
It is. It got to be some link between the two. I don't know
Yeah.
the studies and the history, but I'm telling you, I know it's a link between just, even, like I said, when I don't feel my best, but I decide I'm gonna look my best, then I feel a little bit better. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like, and you don't have to go nowhere to be presentable or to look, to feel good about yourself. So yeah.
Yeah, love that. Love that. So let's talk about the future. Like, what emerging trends do you see in the art world focusing on hair and identity, and how do you think it'll shape future conversations?
Um. So we seeing hair. We seeing like the weave, like incorporated on canvases, in installations, performance art. um I'm seeing it as sculptures. Like, I mean, artists are really like I mean, obviously getting creative, but I mean, just continuing to push. I think use hair as a medium to sort of speak about identity. In the same way I use accessories, I'm seeing like actual hair, braids on canvas, and it's some type of like wild Afrocentric sculpture I came across. I don't remember where I seen it, but it was crazy. So it's like more of that is definitely interesting. Like I said, performance art and swinging of the hair, like it's, I don't know, it's crazy. But of course, like I said, to speak about conversations as far as like identity and heritage culture. So
Yeah, I saw that a lot at the Black Girl Art Show. Actually, I
mm-hmm.
saw a lot of the hair. And then when I saw, I think you were on the second. Were you on the second floor?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, you were on the second. When I came up to the second floor, I'm like, oh, this is a different perspective. I just loved it because it reminded me of the barrettes my mother used to have in my hair. So
Mm,
once again, but
yes.
yeah. So what can we look forward to you from the future? In the future,
um well, first I'd like to share that I do have a solo art show coming up November
okay,
1st in
okay.
Kalamazoo, Michigan, at the Black Culture Art Center. um as far as my work, like I said, I started out with just barrettes, and we could see me graduating to use like different accessories. I started out as just only portraits, and we could see me getting more into storytelling. But you can expect more like fabric. I'm exploring even sculptures. I don't know what this will look like, but that's what I'm exploring. But I'm definitely along the lines of more mixed media. I'm not sure how the media would change, or what media in the future I'll be using. But I'm just kind of going as far as I can with the materials, and like, let's see what I can make. Plus, let's see what I can learn. Like, let's see what new techniques I can learn. Or how can I put the two together to make something you know that I haven't seen before, or something very unique. So I wish I knew how to answer that directly, but just expect more, just more.
Yeah. So you're just exploring and like you say, learning and expanding on your
Yeah, and
craft.
it's like I didn't even see the barrettes coming. It's something I literally just picked up, just decided. I taught a class on unconventional ways to make art, and we made art out of beads. And then I went home like, I should try this. I never tried this myself. I'm still painting. And then that's where all of that stuff come from. But it's like, that's how it's, those type of things are never planned. Creativity is never really planned. You don't know until you start working, and then you just see what happens. So, but I know,
I love it. What you say? I'm sorry.
I said, I just know it'll be more. That's the best way.
I love that. I'm just curious, how long did it take you to complete the barrette piece?
They take about 4 weeks.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
know it take a while.
yes. Depending on
Okay.
the size. The smaller ones don't take as long, but yeah. On average, I'd say about 4 weeks.
Okay. Yes, it's very detailed. Very, very detailed. So where can our listeners find you online if they want to keep up with your projects, want to, attend your art exhibits?
Oh yes. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, excuse me, at Customs by Keila. Um Customs with a C, and Keila, Keila. And my TikTok for my youngsters is just my name, Keila Strong.
Love that. Love that. So before I let you go, BYOK has a signature question. If you could describe yourself in one word, what is that word and why?
Um, my one word is going to be innovative. Um, I'm just always thinking of new ways to do something. Like I'm always, I don't even think of new ways to do something. Let me take that back. I'm always doing something and discovering. new ways of doing it. So innovative. That's my word.
I love that, and I can see that you're innovative. And I just love your work, and I can't wait to see all the things you got in store in the future. Because I mean, the things you have created are phenomenal, just
Thank you
phenomenal.
so much. Thank you.
Yes,
This has
I
been
am
great.
definitely a fan, huh?
Thanks for having me too.
Yes, yes. So, listeners, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna follow. You're gonna go on the website. You're gonna check Keila Strong out, and you're gonna follow her because my God, just for you to like. I think it's just amazing how, like you said, you were just playing with the barrettes, and then you like, and then it just like the
Yeah,
mind is crazy like that. You know, you're just
yeah.
great. You're pretty much flowing because you don't really know how this is gonna turn out.
Right. That's
Yeah,
why I could never answer what's next because it's like I just in my mind it's like, oh, what if I did that? And then what if I did that and did that? And you know, it just keep going until it's something. And it's like, oh wow, I didn't see that when I started, but here we are. So
yeah. So, listeners, to take from that, don't stop creating. Like even if at first it's just everything started out with a thought.
yes.
Everything started out with a vision. So don't think it's unattainable. Like try it out and see where it goes, you know.
What you have to do is start. Just start. If you
Right.
start, you going because like they say, inspiration have to find you working. You're not gonna be inspired if you're not working towards or on anything. So just start and then inspiration take over.
I like that quote. I like that quote. Yeah. All right, Keila. Well, thank you so much for your time. Um, it was just amazing talking with you, and hope that we can talk again in the future. And
Yeah.
listen, until next time, get started. Be as creative as you possibly can, and be kind to yourself and each other. Until next time, bye.
Bye.